What's up, guys? It's Jace Overthink Gaming, and today I want to talk about Retro Fighters. Now, if you guys have never heard about Retro Fighters, they're a company out there that's doing something awesome. They're making new controllers for old school systems. Now, I'm a retro guy, so I'm all excited about this company. Now, the first controller I ever saw, which for some reason you can't buy it. I don't know if you can buy it somewhere. It's got to be out there somewhere, but I've tried looking for it, and it seems like it's sold out on Amazon all the time. But it's a controller for the original Nintendo, the NES. Now, it has dual analog sticks on there, which makes no sense to me. I mean, when you play a Nintendo, you just want to use that D-pad. I mean, they actually put a patent on the D-pad during that time, so why would you want to use analog sticks? Makes no sense to me, but you know, someone out there wants it, obviously. But what we want to talk about today is the Retro Fighters Nintendo 64 controller. Now, when they announced on Kickstarter that they were going to do this controller, I backed them up right away. I was so happy. It seemed like it took forever to get my controller. So the first controller I got was this controller right here. Now, this controller looks pretty cool if you look at it right away. If you compare it to the original Nintendo 64, right away you'll see the thumbstick is the biggest thing. If you're a fan of the 64, you know this thumbstick wears out. It wasn't designed correctly. Now in here I modified it with a GameCube style, but the original thumbstick on this one it would shave. It was just plastic rubbing against plastic. Especially if you played Mario Party, you would wear that thing out. You would see a lot of people's controllers would be limp. It would be like sticking to one side, dead zone, everything. So that's just not a good stick. Now, the option looks pleasing. This right here looks like the controller you want. It's modernized. It looks great. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Now, the first thing they did is they kind of screwed up on the Kickstarter. What they did was with the left trigger, anytime you would move this stick right here, the button would move up and down. And if I opened it up in the inside to see what's going on, there's like a little hook on the side, and it seemed like the analog, the little dome right here, this white dome was hitting it. Now, I did a fix. It's not a fix that's pleasing to the eye, but I shaved off a little bit of the inside of the little dome inside here, and so wouldn't hit that in. Now, Retro Fighters was awesome. What they ended up doing to fix that issue is they gave the option to either send out the part or they would send you guys a whole new controller. Now, I just opted out to get the whole new controller. I thought I was going to have to send the old one back, but they never asked for it back. I ended up getting two controllers, so now I have two, which is a really awesome deal. I cannot complain. I can't really talk bad about this. I don't feel like I got ripped off or anything, so I'm happy with my purchase. But I'm gonna talk about everything with this controller. First of all, oops, I keep hitting the mic there. They did also do another Kickstarter for these transparent colors. These are sweet. Now I went with Atomic Purple, and they do have the Jungle Green and the Spice Orange and the Watermelon Red and the blue one. You know, there's different options that you guys can get. This is just all cosmetics. If you're gonna go with one, I don't know how much they are yet. These haven't been put out. If you're a Kickstarter, now they might be for sale pretty soon. I'm not too sure. Someone let me know in the comment section below. But as of now, they were just Kickstarters. I believe they're coming out soon. I may be wrong. But for this version right here, the gray ones, they do have a listing on Amazon for, I believe it's sometime in April. It's still a little whiles away in 2019, but sometime in April, if you were Kickstarter, you already got it. Now, let's talk about the good with this controller. It works. It works great. Now, I played some GoldenEye, played other games. The one thing you'll notice right away is compared to the original, what did I do in my original? All right here. One thing you'll notice right away is that the A and B buttons right here, they're a little bit different from the C buttons. You can see they're dropped down a little lower. It's not the exact position. It's not a big deal. I got used to it. I mean, mostly I go with the feel of the C buttons and just feel the A and B, and I'll get there. Luckily, Nintendo went with the smaller buttons on the C. They're a little bit bigger on the new controller, which isn't a big deal, but I did play games with it, and it works flawlessly. It works great. The new stick position is great. Now, I didn't have a problem with the prong in the middle because I did like the trigger of the Z. Now the Z's are both the triggers right here. Both of these are the Z button. Then your L and R feel really good. I actually like the way they feel. They're real smooth. And now playing games, I had no issues at all. This is a good controller. I would consider this more controller for collectors, and I'll go over that at the end of actually coming up here real soon. I'll go over that a little bit, but this is, to me, is more geared towards 64 collectors and stuff like that, not for the casual audience. Now, Retro Fighters might be seeing it different. They may want this controller to be out there, but let's talk about the bad. Now, I'm going to tell you why I think you should be, you know, kind of skeptical if you're not a collector, and if you want to look into this, you want to whip out the old 64 and like, hey, I want to buy this controller. First of all, This thing is $35. I don't know, the transparent ones are going to be more, but this one right now is $35. I know that's not a lot for a controller. If you look at my reviews, I've done reviews on the Scuff, Vantage, you know, I've bought the Xbox Elite controller. I've spent money on controllers. I'm always buying controllers. In fact, for Smash, I bought like 3 of the GameCube controllers. I still need a 4th one, but I use my original GameCube one. Other than that, like, I always buy controllers. I believe if you play a game, a big experience of the game is with the controller. Now with this one, I'll say right away is the price. $35 is a lot for this controller. To me, it's got the quality of maybe a $25 controller, maybe 20. If it was a $20, $25 range, I wouldn't really complain, but 35 is kind of steep. I mean, it is very light. I mean, it's just like the plastic. It's super light. I mean, it does have a nice finish, but it just feels like the plastic just feels kind of cheap, but it doesn't feel real cheap. I've had some generic versions that are really bad, but this one, it's okay. It's not bad, it's okay. It's not great, but it looks cool. It looks pleasing to the eye, but once you feel it, it feels really light. That's the first thing. The other thing is the position of the buttons. I mean, that may have something to do, I mean, may affect you. It doesn't really affect me, but it may affect you. The A and B are just slightly off a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. The D-pad's, you know, it's a lot better than the original one. It's a good D-pad. I like the D-pad. Now, the main thing I want to talk about, the reason why I love this controller, but I can't, like, fully recommend it. I'm going to tell you guys the truth of what I think is this analog stick right here. All right, the main feature, the main reason why you want this controller is for the analog stick. Retro Fighters, you know this. Everyone knows that the analog stick is not great on the 64. So you guys had to go all out with the analog stick. To me, it just, whatever this material is on top, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, it's a white plastic, and then on top, it's not that soft rubber you're used to or whatever. I just don't know what it's made out of. Now, I wish I could do, I don't really want to damage this controller, but if you just scratch it, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, if the camera will pick that up, but you can actually make marks on it real easy. In fact, that one went pretty deep just by barely scratching it. Now, I know you can make marks on any controller, but it just has a certain feel that, like, it's just some kind of coating that's on top of this plastic. It's not very comfortable. I'm super picky. I'm sorry. I'm super picky with my analog sticks. And this one it just has a weird feel to it. Now, it's not the worst analog stick I've ever had. So I just think Retro Fighters, if you're going to charge $35 for a 64 controller, we know 64s aren't selling like crazy. These controllers are not going to fly off shelves. You know, they're probably going to be sold on Amazon, and I see they're at Castlemania Games. They're going to be at little places, you know. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be selling out like you need a pre-order. I don't know, but the quality of the stick, that's the main feature. That's the main thing you should have been focused on. I know you guys went around, and I remember I was part of the Kickstarter. Now, they were awesome on Kickstarter. They gave updates for every single thing. You could tell they were really going for the quality. I guess it was the budget. First of all, they were a Kickstarter, so I can't really knock them too hard, but I still am. Is this Octagon. They went with the old school GameCube Octagon. If you guys were going to do that, why not just go with a GameCube stick? I mean, if you think about it, they've been on like generic controllers, bunch of knockoffs. I'm pretty sure you guys could have came out with a good quality one, at least feel like a GameCube one. I mean, I do like the smooth feel, but not this material. Whatever you guys used, I mean, I feel like I could peel it off and you're going to see white plastic right there. It just, I don't know. It looks like it's not going to last the test of time, but it's not a bad controller. So if you guys out there don't mind swallowing the pill of $35, or if they go up to transparent, if you guys see the price, whatever it is, and you guys don't mind paying that, then I'll say go ahead and buy it. You know, it's gonna work. There's nothing wrong with it. Now that issue with the bumper got fixed. You don't even feel it move on the newer versions. And like I said, I modified mine because it was kind of annoying, but it works. I mean, so it's a good controller. If you guys want to spend the money, go get it. If not, I don't blame you. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love making videos for you guys. If you guys liked it, please drop a like. Consider subscribing if you're a new viewer, and I'll be catching you guys on the next video. Peace out.